Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and today my sons Jamie and Bobby are taking me to dig for oysters. You know, they may not look like much here on the riverbeds, but just wait until I get them back to my kitchen. It sure won't be hard to decide what to do with these delicate morsels. Today we'll be making an oyster bisque that will have everybody coming back for seconds. Then I'm gonna put some on the grill and make a lemon dill sauce. Now that's a perfect pairing for these oysters. And then next, it's scalloped oysters. And finally, for dessert, it's my lemon meringue pie. Simple and delicious. So y'all grab your bucket and your boots, cause we're going on an oyster dig. I've got the most exciting field day planned for us today. We're actually going to go out into the Savannah rivers and pick our very own oysters for today's recipe. So y'all come with me. There ain't no telling what could happen out there today. I'm so glad my sons Jamie and Bobby invited me on the boat today, along with our old friend Jackie. He knows where the best oystering is. I can hardly wait for them to show me how it's done.
Come on, Mama, let's go. The tide's going out.
Okay, I'm coming.
It's taking you so long.
Well, I've been fixing us up a little basket of snacks. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, how you doing?
Doing good.
Careful.
Kick it in the booty,
All right,
Jackie.
we ready.
Y'all hold on.
I can't believe this is my first time ever going to catch oysters.
Step down easy.
Step right there.
I'm so scared I can't reach it. Now, do y'all see why I needed these strong boys here with me today? Cheers.
Cheers.
Bottoms up.
Jackie, I thought most oyster bars offered cold beer.
There's some in the cooler in the boat.
You know what? We'll appreciate those oysters the next time we go out and order them, won't we?
No kidding, I won't say they're overpriced.
Yeah.
Not as easy as you would think it is.
That's sort of hard, but I enjoy it anyway.
Oh, Jamie, you just sloshed at my eye.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, man.
There. So there. So there for getting my eye.
Is this how you want to play?
No,
I'm behind
I'm
her
sorry.
with a hammer.
I'm sorry.
If you promise to cook these oysters up for me, I'll forgive you.
Okay.
All right. Bobby, you about ready? Jackie, we got our bucket loaded up?
I had a great time.
Oh, I did too. Who's gonna get me in the boat? Oh.
That's it.
Jackie, that was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I thank you for a great experience. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna stay down here with Jackie and wash these oysters off
All right.
and help him clean up the boat.
Jamie and I'll head up to the kitchen and go ahead and get started.
Gosh, that'd be
Love
great.
it.
I love
Enjoyed
you too,
it.
son.
Jack?
Mama, thanks. Had a good time.
Thank you so
Love
much.
you
Enjoy
too,
it.
someone.
Thank you, Jackie. I
See you
really
later.
do
Thank
appreciate
Jackie,
it.
it
Thank
was
you.
a great experience.
I enjoyed it.
What a great time I had out there on the water with my buddy. Too bad he fell overboard and I was the only one to survive. I'm kidding you. He didn't fall overboard. I'm gonna put these in the sink for right now because what I'm fixing to make you is Lucille Wright's Oyster Bisque. Now to speed things along, I think Jamie and Bobby have been in my kitchen because it looks like they've gotten things going for me. They've actually already started me a pot of celery and onions. And so I'm gonna go ahead and drain these. Now that should be like 1 onion and 2 or 3 stalks of celery. All right, so I'm just gonna put them right over there. Now I've got this pot heating up and we're gonna cook them just until the corners start turning up on them. And see how pretty our oysters look? They're full of liquor. I love oyster liquor. All right, now oysters only take just a few minutes. But you see how they're already starting to lose that transparent look. Okay, so these are ready. So I'm gonna just scoop out the oysters so then I won't lose any in the pot. So I'll just dump those over in there. And then I'm gonna just pull this over here and pour that good oyster liquor into there. Look at that rich oyster stock. Now we're gonna start our pot by making our roux. And we're gonna use about a half a stick of butter, and we're gonna use about 2 tablespoons of flour. Incorporate that in with that butter real good. Now we're gonna take our stock and slowly stir that into our flour mixture. Already looking and smelling so good. All right, while that's tightening up a little bit, I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna mash up our oysters and our celery and our onions. This is a far stretch. I think I need to move it a little closer to me because I'm not short on muscles, but I got to get it close to me. All right, now I'm gonna move back over here to my pot. Now I'm gonna start adding the seasonings. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of lemon juice, a pinch of curry, pinch of salt, a little accent, about a tablespoon of Worcestershire, and some cracked black pepper. And now I'm gonna stir that up good and add our heavy cream into our stock. Oh, and see, that's really giving it a real biscuity look. Doesn't that look good? And then I'm gonna add just a little whole milk. Now you could actually make this dish with half and half if you wanted to. And I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit and put our oysters, our onions, and our celery mixture into that. And this is actually red pepper, and I don't think I got enough, so I'm gonna go back in there with just a little bit more heat. Oh, that's good. I think I'm ready to ladle me up a bowl, and then we're gonna finish it once we get in our bowl. Now I want to share with y'all how Miss Lucille actually assembled her oyster bisque once she got it in the bowl. We're gonna sprinkle it with a little fresh parsley, a little fresh grated nutmeg, and this is so nice. I like doing this. And Miss Lucille threw in a dollop of fresh whipped cream. Now this has not been sweetened, just plain whipped cream. And then we're gonna sprinkle it with a little paprika and then just a little squirt of sherry. And you'll wanna serve this in a little pitcher on the table so that people can determine how much they want for their own bowl. And you can see the cream melting in it. You know what they say about seafood, don't you? Eat fish, live longer, but eat an oyster and love longer. Here's to the oyster. Y'all stick around because I'm fixing to turn on the grill on the top of the stove and I'm gonna char grill some oysters and scallop them. So I'll see y'all in a few minutes. I've just come out to the garden and picked and washed us some fresh dill because I'm gonna be making us a lemon dill sauce. It's gonna be just wonderful with our char grilled oysters. I've got on the char grill and I tell you what, I'm hot as a $3 pistol. I'm gonna have to come out of this sweater because it's getting warm over here. All right, I've got our oysters and I'm gonna throw these on the grill. We got it nice and hot. And you'll see the way I'm putting it on the grill. One side of the oyster almost makes a bowl-like. So I'm gonna sit these down, bowl side down, because I don't want to lose any of that liquor that's gonna come out of those oysters. These are gonna be so delicious. Ooh, I can hear them sizzling already. Like I said, it doesn't take them but a minute. we're gonna let them cook only until the shell pops open. So while those are cooking, I'm gonna come over here and mix our sauce. This sauce is so simple. We're gonna take a cup of mayonnaise, take a little buttermilk, 1 chopped garlic clove, and throw that over in there so it can start marrying into that mayonnaise. All right, we're gonna want about a tablespoon of lemon zest. That just really flavors up that mayonnaise so nicely. All right, that's about a tablespoon. And then we've got a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. And we're gonna put a little dill in here. This is so, so nice, so fragrant. You could actually, if you don't like tartar sauces with your seafood, you can actually make up this sauce. Take the lemon that we zested and squeeze probably about a tablespoon of lemon juice in there. So we're just gonna mix that up. And then you'll just need to pop this into your fridge. Once it's chilled, it'll thicken right back up. I'm gonna stick this bowl of sauce to the side, and then I wanna show you what it looks like once it's sat and thickened up. So this is the one that I made earlier, and you can see how much thicker it's gotten. And I hear dripping and sizzling going on behind me. So let's come over here and look and see what's going on. Most of them have opened. I'm gonna move those right over here. And while those last 3 are waiting to open, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite ways to eat oysters, and that's scalloped oysters. And now we're gonna take saltine crackers and just unseasoned breadcrumbs. And we're gonna take our butter and just toss these crumbs in this. And I kinda wanna hurry along because I don't want our oysters back there getting cold on us. All right, so we've got our crumbs together. We're gonna take a cup of heavy cream and we're gonna season this with a little salt. And you can just do this to taste. A little celery powder, a little cracked black pepper. You could actually even add some Texas Pete or Tabasco or cayenne to that if you wanted it hot. And we're gonna top it off with a little fresh nutmeg. It just makes it so good. All right, now I'm gonna start by putting about 1/3 of a cup of the crumbs in a buttered dish. Yum. And we're gonna take half of our oysters and just kind of spread them out on top of those crumbs. And now I'm gonna top it with about 1/3 of our cream. And that's just gonna soak all into those crackers. It's gonna be wonderful. All right, now I'm gonna put another layer of crumbs, just like that. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna put the rest of our oysters onto those crumbs. And make sure that they're spread evenly on those crackers, so when you dip into the casserole, everybody will get plenty of oysters. Okay, and the other part of the cream. Looks so good. And then we're just gonna top it with the rest of our crackers. Doesn't get any better. Oysters and soda crackers. Can't hardly wait. All right, now I'm fixing to put this in the oven. So we're gonna put these in a 350-degree preheated oven and bake those for about 25 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna get my plate and come over here and retrieve our oysters, and you can see all 3 of these have opened. Looking good. Those are cooled off enough that I can actually touch those. Oh, look at all that juice that just went out of that one. Oh, don't they look just delicious? One of Savannah, Georgia's favorite foods. All right, I'm gonna set these over here. And in the other oven, I have some scalloped oysters that should be ready. So, gosh, oh, it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Doesn't that look just delicious? All right, like I said, I can't hardly wait to taste these oysters. Look at all the liquor that was in them. These just look incredibly delicious. All right, let's see. I think I'm gonna top mine with a little lemon juice. And I'm gonna put a little dollop of dill sauce on each of my oysters. And just a little bit of salt. When we eat oysters in Savannah, it's almost a production. This is how I eat them. I just suck them straight out of the shell. They're so incredibly wonderful. I'm gonna dip me out a little bit of that scalloped oyster. Oh, it's so piping hot. That juice from the oysters is gonna be so, so good. It's really hard for me to decide which of these oysters I like the best. They're both so good. Y'all stick around because next I'm gonna be making us a nice lemon pie to go along with all of our seafood. So I'll see y'all in a minute. One of my favorite things with seafood is definitely lemon. So to finish off our meal today, I'm making just an old-timey lemon meringue pie. And we're gonna start with just sweetened condensed milk. Oh, I love this stuff. Now actually, I'm using a deep dish pie shell today, so I'm doubling the recipe because I like real thick, tall pies. All right, so how easy is this to put together? I'm gonna use about a heaping teaspoon of lemon zest. And let's see, I'm probably gonna use about a half a cup of lemon juice. This is one of those easy recipes that you can make in advance and have it waiting on you. All right, now I'm gonna take my egg yolks, and the important part of this recipe is making sure that they haven't gone past their expiration date and have no cracks in them. The reason I've cautioned you is because this particular pie requires no cooking. It's gonna have your raw egg yolks in it. This is really not an issue with me, but you know, that's really a judgment call for you to make for you and your family. Look how pretty and golden that yolk turns our filling. All right, now we wanna make sure that our pie crust has had a chance to come out of the oven and completely cool. So this is ready to go in. And see what a fat, high pie we're gonna have. So good and so simple to make. All right, let's move on over here to our meringue. We're gonna take our egg whites and slip them into our bowl. And I'm gonna use about a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar just to ensure that they are gonna be nice and fluffy for us. And you'll want to beat your egg whites on a very high speed and slowly add the sugar. It almost looks like divinity candy, doesn't it? So now it's time to top our pie with the meringue and see how nice and stiff it is. Now the important part of frosting your pie is sealing the edges of your pie, so that when we refrigerate it, it won't pull away from that crust. We're gonna bring that all the way in and let it nestle up. We want it all to be completely sealed in there. And then I'm gonna just smooth out the rest of my meringue, and we have ourselves one beautiful pie. Okay, this is sealed up real nicely and ready to run into a hot oven. We want it just a nice golden brown. Now I have one that's already ready. Just beautiful. You know, I love this pie. It's probably one of my favorite, but there's only one thing that I don't like about this pie. You can't cut it while it's warm. So I can't taste it right now. But hang with me anyway, because I've got some tips for you coming up, and then maybe we can slip in that taste. I've got a few tips that I'd like to share with y'all. Normally we'll serve our oysters with a tartar or a cocktail sauce. Well, I'm gonna give you a quick little recipe for a lighter sauce because it makes the oysters almost calorie-free. And this sauce is called a Mignonette sauce, and it's strictly either shallots or purple onion. Now the purple onion's gonna give you a lot stronger flavor than a shallot would. We're gonna use a red wine vinegar, and we're gonna go really, really heavy with fresh cracked black pepper. See how pretty that sauce is? Happy oystering. I hope that y'all enjoyed today's show. I know I had a great time, and I hope that one of these recipes will come in very handy for you one day. Lucille's Oyster Bisque is out of this world, and the scalloped oysters and the char-grilled oysters and the lemon pie. In fact, this pie right here is still not quite chilled enough, but you know what? I'm having a piece of this pie regardless. So until next time, America, best dishes from my kitchen to yours.